Good morning, boys and girls, moms and dads, grandmas and grandpas. It's the third Sunday of Advent, and today we're going to talk about the wise men. Last week we talked about the shepherds and how they came to see the baby Jesus. Well, some men living in the East. We don't know exactly what countries they came from. The Bible just tells us it's from the East. They might have been from Persia, they might have been from Arabia, or they might have been from the area that we called Babylon at the time. But these men saw a star, and they thought it was a sign sent by God of a new king. And so they traveled a long, long ways to come to see this new king. When they got to the capital of Judea, Jerusalem, they asked people, "Where is he that's born King of the Jews?" And people kind of looked at them and said, "Well, we don't know." Well, finally, some people looked up in the Bible and they said, "Oh, you're in the wrong place. It isn't Jerusalem where he's to be born. It's in Bethlehem." And the men from the east said, "Okay." And so they followed the star from Jerusalem to Bethlehem. And the star showed them exactly where to go. It says, to the house where the young child and his mother was, and probably Joseph too. When they got there, the star stopped right above the house. And they went in and they worshiped this little baby. By this time, he was a little older than a newborn because it had taken them so long to get there. And they brought him gifts. Some very, very expensive gifts. One of those gifts was gold. Gold is a gift that is given to kings. And they knew that Jesus was to be king. Maybe not in the sense that they understood, but someday Jesus will come back to rule and be king. One of the other gifts that they brought was frankincense. Frankincense was a wonderful smelling kind of substance that, again, said that it was a way to worship God. And they realized that this baby would grow and he would be the Son of God because he came from God. The third gift that they brought was myrrh. Myrrh was a spice that was used to wrap the bodies of those who died. I don't know if they really understood, but myrrh would be used to wrap in the clothing around Jesus' body when he died on the cross. Now that was all in the future, and I don't think anyone understood that yet. But nevertheless, these three gifts were brought for Jesus. And that is why we bring presents and gifts to each other on Christmas. Because back here, at the first Christmas, the wise men brought gifts. I don't know what you are thinking about as far as your most favorite gift that you would like. I don't know what it would be. But remember that the greatest gift that we can receive is Jesus. That we can come to him And he wants to be the king of our hearts, if we will let him. So remember this Christmas, it isn't just about presents, although they're important. Instead, it's about the coming of Jesus, who would be king, who came from God because he is God, and that he would die for us on the cross for our sins. The three wise men, after they had seen the baby, they were warned in a dream not to go back to Herod in Jerusalem. So they went back to their countries another way, because Herod didn't like to hear about the baby Jesus, because he was afraid that Jesus would take his crown away from him, because he was a jealous man, not a good king at all. So this is the story of the wise men. Sometimes we say 3 wise men, but we really don't know. We think perhaps there were 3 because there were 3 gifts. But it's one of those mysteries that maybe when we get to heaven we'll know, and maybe meet the wise men, because they believed that this was the Son of God, this little baby that was born, that you can see here in the picture. So I hope each of you will remember, as we think about the coming of Christmas, to remember that it is all about the coming of Jesus, because he loved us and loves us still every day. So remember that this week, and think about what kind of gifts you might give to someone else. They don't need to be expensive. You might just draw a picture, maybe about the 3 wise men, and maybe make that a gift to someone in your family. I know as a grandmother, I love those kind of gifts. So goodbye for now. Thank you for being here, and see you next week. Bye-bye.